Business over drinks. Business over drinks. This is Dave and Tom. This is Business over drinks.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Business Over Drinks. My name is Tung and I'm calling in from Singapore.
Did you say lappy episode of Business?
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Yeah, now I'm stuttering. Good evening, everyone. My name is David. Welcome to Business Over Drinks. And we have a really great guest coming up this morning. But before we start, I thought I'd talk about this offer we have that's worth $700 billion. You want to talk about it more, Tone?
Yeah, hey, thanks for the background noise, Ginny. I appreciate that. So, so currently we're giving away a free PR website audit. So what we do is we look at your digital assets and everything online, website and such, and we analyze it to share whether there are any issues from a PR and messaging standpoint. It's a really, really complicated process, but it's something that we're willing to give away free. We usually charge upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 US dollars for an audit like that, but happy to give away free to one lucky listener of this podcast. David, do you want to finish off and tell them how they can take part?
So all you have to do is hit us up on our website, businessoverdrinks.com, and then subscribe to our newsletter. That's it. So it's just on the homepage, scroll down. There's an option that is subscribe to the newsletter. And then send us a private message, contact page, and let us know that you subscribed, and you'll be in the draw.
Right. So I'd like to take this time to actually introduce our guest. Our very special guest today is Ginny. Ginny is the co-founder of Shumo, a shoe and sneaker cleaning, repairing, customization service brand. They actually started in 2016 in Malaysia and now has 12 outlets across 4 countries, which is not that big, just FYI. The idea came across from Ginny as she actually struggled to find a place to send her running shoes for cleaning when she moved to KL. From Vietnam. So originally from Vietnam, Ginny's now settled down in KL and is a citizen. Oh, no, not a citizen, but she's a longtime resident of Malaysia. Gotta be very careful how we say that. She actually discussed the idea with her co-founder and then friend, Jack Wong. They're no longer friends, just FYI. I don't know, I'm guessing. I don't know Jack, but I know his friend. And a few weeks later, they actually created Shumo. So right there in the middle of the sneaker trend upswing in Malaysia, Shumo was born. They actually managed to grab the sneaker lover market and then expand it into non-sneaker shoes and bag services. Ginny actually has a really strong background in marketing and advertising, so we're actually going to ask you a lot of questions about marketing and advertising, mostly marketing. I don't care about advertising. And she's an ex-Grabber, which is somebody who works at Grab, which is Southeast Asia's super app, and apparently has a valuation of $40 billion. Good job leaving that company. Now she's working also part-time as a marketing cloud application consultant at Oracle Malaysia. All right, welcome to the show, Ginny.
That was a very basic resume, wasn't it? That was just a very simple.
So what Ginny?
That's all I got. That's all I got, mate. Right. Hi. Nice. Thanks, Tun. Tun seemed to be, inviting me here to this call. Well, it's 5 a.m. in KL, 5 p.m. in KL, and
5 a.m. Geez, wow.
Yeah, I know, man. It's been a long day. So yeah, happy to be here sharing my journey at Shumo. Whatever question that you have, throw at me.
So how much money do you make a month? Oh, no, I'm joking.
He's not joking.
Right.
He's gonna
I'm not joking. I really want to know. Okay, before we start.
I thought it was an opportunity for me to brag, but yeah, whatever. I'm not going in there. So. Enough to buy this chair, the Secret Lab Batman chair. So you guys.
Oh, very, very cool. Okay. Hey, before we start, actually, why don't we just go real quick into what you're drinking? Dave, do you want to share what you're drinking right now?
Yeah. So I'm drinking a Shiraz.
Wow, fancy.
I know, right? So it's called the Bygone Era, and it's a McLaren Vale drink from South Australia. And it goes down like water. I can drink a few liters of this very easily.
And David does that quite often because he's an alcoholic. I'm drinking actually one of our sponsors' drinks. This is a Crossroads Brewing Company steam ale. So it's a sessionable steam ale. This is one of my favorites, along with the IPA. So Dave and I are big fans of this one, and we'll include the link to our podcast with Adrian in our show notes as well.
Yeah, it's a really good drink.
Yeah. Ginny, what are you drinking? What about you?
I am drinking this sparkling juice, pineapple flavor. Actually, not bad. I had this in the fridge for like 2 weeks. Yeah, so
Sparkling juice.
yeah,
If I drank
pineapple
sparkling
flavors.
juice, tongue would never let go of that. Like,
Why
Yeah.
so? It's a nice drink, right? Very refreshing.
Very cool. So now, Ginny, you can drink that. Dave, I'll mock you till you die, man. All right, all right. Okay, so again, thanks for coming on the show, Ginny, and we're gonna just go really in depth into basically your career, like what you've accomplished, kind of like give everybody a kind of idea how you actually set up a business, a very successful business, just randomly while just moving to a new country right from the beginning, right? So let's start off with a little bit easy because I think you and we've known each other for quite a few years now. I actually don't know how many years, but it's quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a while
Yeah.
actually.
So
I lost track of time.
I think we actually first met during Slush in Singapore. So Slush is a technology event in Singapore. So I think that was roughly around the time that we first met, right?
Yeah.
So this is a question I was want to ask. So you can tell me a little bit more, like, what did you think of me when you first met me in terms of just your opinion of me as a person? Because Dave always says that I'm the worst person in the world. So I just want to know what your opinion is as someone who's, not Dave.
You want my nice opinion or honest opinion?
Honest, but with a nice.
No, don't even. Just be with a negative tinge.
Okay, I'll be nicely honest. Okay. So yeah, I think when we first met, I remember you're still with your previous company, right? Which is my dog, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Ben, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
and then
Joking.
it was a long time ago. And I remember you telling me about leaving your day job and then just doing your own PR agency thing. And then look at you now, right? So I think my impression of that you know what you want and you went for it. It's great. Happy for you.
Oh, that's a really nice way that you kind of glossed over all the bad stuff. Thank you.
When I say look at you now, tongue, like it's a very different tone. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Yeah, it's
you once had dreams. You once had big dreams, but look at you now.
Yeah, I kind of lost everything in that sense. No, but I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I think that's true. Maybe I can share and completely unwanted, but I can share my first opinion of Ginny when I first met her. Like, this was someone basically who just dropped everything, flew over to Singapore to volunteer at Slush just because she wanted to go and increase her network and do everything. I was like, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, fuck it. If I want to increase my network, I'll either join LinkedIn a little bit more and be a little bit more active on LinkedIn. Ginny was just like drop everything and just like go to another country.
I think
came
that
from Vietnam?
experience, yeah, I came from Vietnam to Singapore just to volunteer. But I think that particular event and experience got me a job in KL.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's quite, if you put it in your CV, you're a startup, you're passionate about startup, you drop everything to do volunteering, take a few days of your day job off from your day job just to go there to volunteer. So people were like, they take you very serious for that. So never regret that. It's a great decision that I've made.
I think what they gathered from that is that she's willing to work for free because she volunteered. So I think that's what they gathered from that one.
Well, I'll make sure I have something back after that. So yeah, I always make sure of that.
All right, no, fair enough.
Sorry, so you were in Vietnam. So were you a student before you?
I was working in Grab before I moved to KL. So I work in Grab Vietnam before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so I studied there as well. Yeah.
You went to Singapore. So what were some of the biggest challenges you had when you moved back to Malaysia, right? You went to Slush and you moved to Malaysia from?
No, I went to Slush first and I went back to Vietnam. But then I got the offer, then I moved over sort of, I think a few months later.
So what was that like? Like what were some of the challenges you faced?
So, well, definitely the culture, because as you know, Vietnam, we only have 90% is Vietnamese, and we all speak Vietnamese at work, at home. Of course, we use English, but of course, but at work, you most of the time people will speak Vietnamese to you. But moving to Malaysia is a multi-cultural country, right? As you have people speaking Malay, people speaking Mandarin, and I would say I felt lost in translation sometimes. At work, they will speak English to me, but then if they speak to each other, they switch to their own local language. I remember I had this experience that is, we had this team bonding night, like we did karaoke and dinner and stuff, right? Back in the day before COVID. And then I remember I went home crying because I couldn't connect to any one of my colleagues because I cannot speak their language and I cannot listen to the conversations and join in and, and laugh it off. So yeah, that was the thing that I remember, but it just happened one time. After that, I get over it. So the culture is definitely something, it's a huge challenge for me at the beginning.
That's when Ginny hardened her heart, and now she never cries. And she basically
makes friends. She just stays at a distance.
Yeah,
Cold.
exactly. She's no friends. She doesn't talk to people. She's just like, I will find you and kill you. No, so I mean that's really interesting, because I think one of the things that I face as well when I work in Malaysia is that it's a mismatch of cultures, but there isn't the dominant work language. I feel sometimes isn't English as much as it should be. So it's just a personal opinion of mine anyway from that side. But I'm really curious, Jenny, because I mean my experience is I might primarily work in Singapore. I mean I work in other countries, but it's usually shorter projects and such. Maybe you can tell me, like, so what were some of the like, give me the pros and cons of both Vietnam and Malaysia as a place to live and work. Like, what if you were to sell either place to someone who's never been there? Imagine a guy from America, right? Who knows nothing. He knows Kansas. That's all he knows, right? How would you scale? What were the pros and cons of Vietnam, and what are the pros and cons of Malaysia?
I would say for Vietnam, absolutely biased. The food is amazing. Everything is accessible within 5 minutes of either walking or riding bicycle.
So where in Vietnam are you talking? Just anywhere in Vietnam, or?
No, it's in the big cities, Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. Yeah. So I actually work in Ho Chi Minh City for like 8 years before I moved to Malaysia. So yeah, everything is very accessible. You can just walk out in front of the alley. There's something there. You can grab like a baguette or whatever, some food, which I cannot do here in Malaysia without driving or taking a Grab. Vietnam has a very vibrant nightlife. If you notice, I'm not sure if have you ever been to Vietnam, but we have very good nightlife there, a lot of activities.
Vietnam nightlife is the best. It's one of the most underrated nightlives in Southeast Asia.
Right. So
people don't know that.
Yep. So, but the cons is most of Vietnamese, they don't speak good English. You get to be on your own way if you're on the street. If you have no phone, you have no Google Maps, technically you're screwed, right? People don't really speak English to you. They're friendly, yes, but sometimes you get lost in translation as well. In terms of Malaysia, I think Malaysia has a better infrastructure. You have a faster internet for sure, definitely. The culture is diverse. Because of the culture is diverse, people are more open-minded towards like new ideas. And then I feel like in Malaysia, I'm more exposed to international trends rather than in Vietnam because of the news, the language that they still in English, right, in Malaysia. So yeah, that's how I would say it. In terms of food, Malaysia also have great food. Yeah, I think that's all for me. Yeah, that's
okay. So quick question, just quick follow-up question, Jenny. Singaporean chicken rice or Malaysian nasi padang? What would you go?
Singapore chicken rice.
All right, cool. That's all we wanted to hear. That's all we wanted.
To be honest, I do believe that Singapore chicken rice is better.
Oh.
Yeah, that is. I remember one time I visited you, right? I visited Singapore, and then I told you I have to go to eat
Oh
chicken
yeah,
rice.
I remember.
Remember that?
I remember. I remember that. I think we were having a coffee or
Yeah,
something. You're like, I'm just gonna have chicken
it's a
rice now.
must. It's a must.
Yeah, I was like, all right, thanks for coming, I guess. She just left. She's just like, chicken rice time. I'm like, all right then.
Yeah.
That's fair enough actually. Yeah, people here love chicken rice, and I think, and hands down, and I'll say this about Malaysia. I think overall their food's much better. I think
Exactly.
if you look at chicken rice though, Singapore kind of does a really good. I'm not a big fan of chicken rice, but even I can recognize that it's like there's
Butter
the
chicken.
levels to it. There's levels to chicken rice there for sure.
So for anyone who's listening or watching who doesn't know what chicken rice is, maybe we'll put a photo up. So if you're listening to the Shireen, please put a photo up of chicken rice.
If you're wondering who Shireen is, so Shireen is our acting producer for the show now. So she's just gonna see all. She's gonna basically judge us. She judges us every episode. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure she's traumatized by now.
Wow. I can see the reason why. Totally.
I'm curious though, Jenny. Back to when you were experiencing culture shock and you were new. How did you like? Can you speak slang now? Can you speak the local dialect? Can you blend in? What did you do to overcome all?
I started learning a little bit of words here and there, like go eat chicken rice, how to order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I learned how to pick up like simple conversations, and then start to mix a certain word into my daily life. So say makan, like go to eat, something like that. It helps me connect to home more, and yeah, and I just try out my best to understand them and ask them to teach me a few things, so I can pick up faster. So now I can understand around 20 to 30% of the conversation. Random conversation in the bar, I can understand that. In terms of replying, I don't think I can yet, but understanding, yes. If you talk bad about me, I know.
Well, what are the main what are the main languages people speak? There's English. Is it Hokkien?
Malay.
The people I hang out with, yes, English, but the majority is Malay, yeah. And even though among the English speaking crowd, they also speak mixed Malay words inside. So it's hard to understand if you don't understand the word and you don't understand the culture. So
How are you getting along now that they have the extended MCO? So the MCO, for those who don't know, is the Movement Control Order in Malaysia, which is basically a massive lockdown because the pandemic is really bad in Malaysia right now. There's like, I'm not going to say that there are dead bodies on the streets, but there are dead bodies on the streets.
Are there really?
No, there isn't, man. There isn't. They're behind the
So
alleyways. So
dramatic.
they're not on the streets.
Oh,
They know where
away.
they know where to hide them probably.
yeah, I think we have around 15,000 to 17,000 cases per day.
Oh shit!
Jeez
Really?
Louise.
Yeah, and it's gonna
Wow.
hit 20,000 soon, I guess.
I haven't heard a peep about Malaysia in the news. That's because I don't watch the news. But anyway.
I have so
Wow,
many bad.
okay.
I have so many
Wow.
bad things to say about that, man. Dave, you can't set me up like that. I got really bad stuff. By the way, Shireen, apologies. Shireen is actually based in Malaysia for now. She can't come back. She's Singaporean, but she can't come back to country.
You meant to live in Singapore. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I'll answer the question. So yeah, personally, I started off having a lot of, frustration and downtime and uncertainty, as most of us, because business can run, Shumo cannot run. I can't travel, I can't go back to Vietnam and all that. But yeah, I would say I managed to adjust to it. I managed to establish life routines, which is impossible for me to commit before the pandemic because I travel between 4 markets very often, right? So I literally live in the airport. I also spend a lot of time taking care of myself and trying to, to be spiritually positive. And also I got married in February. So yeah, it turns out not too bad for me. I'm grateful that I still have food, I still have a house to live in. Yeah, it's not too bad for me, to be honest. I'm lucky and I'm grateful.
Interesting though. So Shumo, back to your actual business, right? Shumo, how did it start? Like, so you were working for Grab. How did this all come about?
So when I moved to Malaysia, I still kind of have a habit, like I was in Vietnam, and in Vietnam back in the day, I used to send all of my shoes to a cleaning service at one go, just to get it done and then wear it again. So when I moved to Malaysia, I sort of trying to find the same service that I can do. And then I just asked my friend, uh, my co-founder back then, just friend. So I asked him, is there any places I can, send my shoe in for cleaning? And he looked at me and said, you know what? Malaysia never clean their shoes. I'm like, are you serious? That's pretty nasty, right? You wear it every day, you hit the road every day and you never clean it. He said, yeah, we never clean it. And then I think 1 or 2 weeks later, we decided that why don't we just try? It's just to explore if we can, start up a similar business in Malaysia. Yeah, that just is a random conversation.
So there was no like you didn't love cleaning shoes basically as like a hobby and stuff like that. All right, okay,
Yeah.
that's
Can
surprising.
I borrow your shoe? I just want to clean it. It looks
Yeah,
like
like smells dirty. All right, here we go.
Then actually after that, we had to pick up cleaning skills ourselves. So we watched tons of YouTube videos and bought tons of cleaning products. And literally, I threw a pair of shoes in the washing machine and it turned out so bad. Jack put his sneakers in his freezer in the fridge, just to trying to get rid of the smell, because one YouTube video say it works and it didn't. So we try a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, it's all trial and error.
I mean,
I can't say I love cleaning shoes. I can't say that. Yeah, but it's a good skill to have.
No, but you should say that you love cleaning shoes. But well, no. So I can personally attest to it. I think I brought my really shitty sneakers to Ginny once to clean, and she said okay she'll clean it, and then she just gave up halfway through. But she did a really good
Didn't
job.
pay me though.
Yeah, I didn't pay you, but she did a really good job.
Oh,
It was
that's-
actually the cleanest it's ever been. No, it was disgusting. Like these shoes were shitty and disgusting, and I was just like, let's just fuck with it and see what happens. And so that was my bad, but I think you did better job than anyone could ever have done. We should have thrown those shoes. Let's be fair. So
and you didn't pay her. I'm still thinking about that.
I mean, I don't pay
Haven't
anybody,
paid.
man. I don't pay anybody, dude. It's different. So you and I have discussed this before, actually, Jenny, and I think it's really interesting because and at that point when we discussed it a couple of years ago, I was listening really, really closely. You were actually able to acquire quite a lot of customers because you have a background in digital marketing, right? And you use digital marketing to actually really acquire your first round of customers. Actually, even now you're still acquiring customers across the markets, right? Could you tell us some of the digital marketing strategies that really work for you, and whether they're still like applicable across different industries?
Yeah, I would say different markets have different approach. Obviously, in Malaysia, as I say, at the beginning when we started, Malaysian back then, they don't know, they have no knowledge of this such service available. So we invest a lot in Facebook ads for awareness and education content. Like, your shoes are dirty, you can clean them. A lot of before and after photos to show them how effective it could be, and just trying to create the needs, right? Because they don't know, you don't know what you don't know, right? They don't know that they need it. So now they know, so they might need it. So Facebook kickstart the business back in the day in Malaysia. Then we move on to a lot of partnerships, but one particular partnership that really make things take off is that we partner with Grab to sell our cleaning voucher on their app. So I'm not sure if Grab's still doing it nowadays. I don't think so. But back in the day, they have this Grab voucher rewards or something. You can use your Grab points to buy a certain service voucher and you can redeem it. I think Grab has sold about almost 10,000 vouchers of ours, which is great, right? And it's really helped with the awareness. So I guess Facebook ads and partnerships really works for us. Leverage on a bigger brand to promote our service.
How did you, sorry to interrupt, how did you get that partnership with Grab? Was it?
We just because I use the word in Grab, right? So I just asked my ex-colleagues to just refer me anyone in Malaysia who's doing partnerships. So and I got an email, and then we emailed her. I remember I had to Grab all the way to Grab office in BJ, met her in a coffee shop, and we closed the deal on during that coffee. It's very fast. I think back in the day, because Grab is trying to push the pointing system, encourage people to spend and to get points and using points. So they're really pushing that program, and we took that opportunity, and we put our words out there, which is really helped. Grab has a lot of users, right? And then if you have a lot of points, you tend to see what other things you can buy. And then after that, I think they stopped that program, which is we're quite lucky. We're quite lucky. And they pay us back, Grab
Really?
pay us 10 ringgit per voucher we sold, which is I'm like,
nice.
wow. Okay, Grab is paying me.
Oh, nice. Okay, so they sold roughly around 10. That's quite a lot, actually. That's quite a
Yeah.
lot for what you could consider a
And-
relatively niche industry.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect they would pay because it's for us exposure, right? But they pay us. So after that they stop it because I know that they've been paying partners too much. So yeah. Because it works so well, and the voucher sold out a few times.
Okay, no, that's really good. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense though, in terms of using their platform as a model. Do you use anything currently? So, okay, just maybe right before the MCO or right before the pandemic or something you're planning to do. Do you have any strategies in mind that you think would like really crush it right now?
So I was saying that we're trying to create more social media contents, more videos of how we clean shoes, how we restore bags. And my partner, Jack, is running a mini series on how to run a sneaker laundry business, which trying to sell our franchise service out to other markets. You can check it out. It's on YouTube.
Nice.
We offer.
We'll put. Sorry, Jenny. We'll put up Jack's video series on YouTube.
Yep.
So that everyone can see it.
Yeah, and we also offer trainings. Whoever wanna set up a shoe cleaning business, you can also get a training from us. If you're a laundry business and you want to include shoe cleaning in your business, you can also get a training. We're pretty flexible in terms of training as well. Yeah, a lot of content creation these days for us because as we figure lots of people are staying at home, consuming a lot of content on the internet. So yeah, this is something that would work for us.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So, David, you and I should create a TikTok account and just basically.
Did you dance?
Yeah, we're gonna do the dance for sure. Like David sends me videos of him dancing anyway, so it's cool. We already have a lot of content.
Tung and I are gonna do an OnlyFans account called me and my boy. Two guys, one webcam.
Oh,
that's great, man. I'll subscribe.
We're gonna charge $40,000 a month, so we just need one subscriber. We need one subscriber, okay? And
Ginny.
We've got it, Dave. Let's do it. Do it. This is how we trick.
We have to make our parents sign up because they love us.
Oh, that's just really offensive, man. Okay, right. So let's take that really disturbing concept away for a minute.
Speaking of the family, so how did you grow from a single home run business to a multi-market success story? How did you start do that? Yeah, let's just try this out with Jack into something much bigger. Do you like my transition there, by the way?
Well, I guess there's a lot of late nights for me at the start and pure hard work. I'm sure that you guys can relate. I believe you cannot escape that at the start, right?
Oh, David,
starting a new business.
Cannot relate. David cannot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's never done anything. Let's just be fair.
Hey, be nice, okay?
Dave, be honest.
I work really
okay,
hard.
so yeah, beside hardworking, there's one thing that really take Shumo to the next level is that we apply technology to our process, right? So I am a big fan of technology and digitalization, which explain my background and my current job. So we developed and invested in our own Shumo system, which manage end-to-end process. It's not like a usual POS system where you come, you purchase something, you get the product, and then you just go away. Here, you place your item with us for a certain amount of time, and we have to contact you back when it's done to come and collect. So it's a whole journey which involve a lot of admin work and a lot of management work, right? So we obviously cannot text everyone or call everyone when the shoe is done. And I cannot sit there and manage my staff and look at every pair of shoe that they've done, like the quality control. So we invested in the system, which smartphone based. So everyone has a login, they get in, get the job done, take a photo. When it's done, the manager will QC it. And when the shoe is ready, customer will get auto notification just to come and pick up. It's all automated. So our team can spend 100% of their time on servicing customer, talk to customer, doing consulting work, doing cleaning work. Then they don't have to worry about admin work. So that's a great investment so far, and we apply the same system across the market. And for me, I can see the performance of all the market in one place. So, which is how save a lot of time for me, centralized data. So I guess that is something that really differentiate us from a local shoe repair service, which is have one or two outlet. Because the moment you have more than one outlet, is everything gonna spin out of control if you don't have a centralized system. So to scale up, we recognize that we need it, and we did it. So yeah, that is something that really help us grow as we are now.
But and again, that's awesome, by the way. As a business owner, there's so many different things you can do, right? And I've always wondered, like, what kind of mindset do you have, or decision-making strategies do you have to, because that would have cost some money.
Yeah.
And, some people may argue you should have spent that on advertising. In hindsight, you made a good decision, but how did you choose that decision out of millions of other possibilities?
Well, I guess it all go back to what do you want to achieve, right? So for us, we always want to be the number one, at least in Malaysia and Singapore, and then Southeast Asia, of course. So if it's in line with our direction, for example, if you ask me, hey, Ginny, were you gonna consider curtain cleanings? I'm like, probably not, right? But if you ask me, do you consider bags cleaning? I would say yes, because the time the time and cost that I spend on training the staff on cleaning bags is probably lower than I have to train them on curtain cleaning. It always come down to your vision and what do you want to achieve. When we consider to add a certain service or a certain product into our portfolio, it always come down to how do you want people to see us, right? How you want people to remember us or relate us with. So we want to be expert. We want to be shoe and bag expert, and that's the laser focus that we want to be now, and that's how I make decision. It sounds simple, but sometimes, it could be hard. Because there's so many possibilities, right? Yeah.
Okay, wow, cool. I mean, actually, I was going to transition to actually asking you how you add and change services, but I think you already answered that, so that's pretty cool. I mean, interestingly enough, when I actually, so I've been to some of your Shumo outlets before the pandemic, and I was having a look, right? It's pretty cool. Everything is like, there's not a ton of people there, so you'd think it'd be really like a really heavy manpower driven business, but it actually is like a lot of things are centralized, so it's really easy. There's not a lot of overheads and stuff. I was really easy to steal stuff from the place as well, so I was just stealing things all the time. It's kind of cool.
I'll check my camera now.
All right. No, so I've actually got a question though. I mean, if we look at this from a very general standpoint, right? So, like maybe you can tell us, and this is for a lot of entrepreneurs and people who listen to our podcast, right? What are some of the biggest mistakes you made in business so far? Like, would you do anything? Would you, if you could go back, what would you change?
Well, I could give you one example. And also, I think that is my biggest mistake so far. In one of the
Meeting
market.
Meeting Jack.
No.
Well, what's wrong with?
I don't know.
okay.
I don't even know Jack. It's just like.
Hey, hey, do you know that I met Jack through you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I know.
Oh.
I introduced you to
So
Lai,
you
right?
contributed to that mistake, right?
Yeah, that's my fault. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
No, actually not. So in one of the market that we expanded to, we have a local partner, and he wasn't really very active in terms of contributing in operations. And pandemic time where I can't travel and Jack also can't travel, it's very crucial to have a partner who is more active and contributing to the actual business activities. And we struggled a lot because we couldn't get the partner involved. So I guess my biggest mistake is choosing the wrong sort of partner to work with, and I would definitely do differently. But then if I look at it, all the mistake that I make is all people related, as in like you choose to work with the wrong person, choose the wrong supplier, hire the wrong team. So I would definitely learn from that and have a better qualifications next time.
Yeah, I mean, finding the wrong person. Did you have any inkling that it could have been the wrong person from the start, or were there just certain questions you didn't
I did
ask?
actually. We did have this concern, but to us it was a minor setback back in the day, but it only amplified when COVID happened. Do you get what I mean? It is something that we couldn't predict. That like no one could predict that business has to close because of the pandemic. We thought that we could be flying over and taking care of the business here and there. We are so close to the market, right? Just a few hours flight, 1 or 2 hour flight. It couldn't be a problem until now.
Can you name the market, or would that be too much? Can you name the guy? Just like show us a picture. What's his Instagram profile? Let's use LinkedIn.
I don't name drop, guys. I don't name drop like you. Sorry.
Hey. I'll find out. I'm just gonna search.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Very cool. Dave, you got a question?
No, your turn.
All right, cool. I mean, that was actually my question that you kind of jumped in on, Dave. But all right. So Ginny, give us something that I think a lot of listeners are struggling with right now, right? And I'll admit, this affected me too. So how do you stay motivated? Because when the pandemic first happened for me, right, and I this, everyone's marketing budget kind of got slashed. People were just like no marketing budget, and that really affected my business. I lost 60% of business in like 1 month, and my pipeline was devastated from like almost $1 million to zero in like 2 months. So I mean, I maybe didn't deal with it in the most mature way. I kind of just like I was like sleeping all day, a little bit in the shower all the time.
That's what we thought up with the OnlyFans to make some money.
Yeah,
I was in Singapore.
That was kind of the thing. Like, so Dave was there when the pandemic first started, right?
Wow.
He was actually in Singapore. We were hanging out and stuff. That's why we started the podcast, to be honest. And Dave left right before the pandemic became a real pandemic. So he just saw me looking slightly worried, but not really that bothered. And then it hit, like the lockdowns hit, everything hit. I remember just like I sat down in the shower place while the shower was on and just going like, what do I do now? But how do you stay motivated now? Like Malaysia's been basically on lockdown for over a year, right? How do you stay motivated?
Well, there's a saying, right? I don't want to be cheesy, right? But there's a saying that
you can't help it. You're cheesy anyway, Karen.
You want to give up, think about why you started, right? it's many time I admit, many time. I just wanna, flip the table and say, fuck it. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Just say, yeah, just screw it. Let's just do something else, or let's, just give up. It's not gonna work out. We don't know how long it's gonna last. But then when I look back, of what we have achieved, in a short span of time, we expand so much, we grow so fast, and we contribute back to a lot of things. Like we contribute back to the economy, we create jobs, and I have a team with me. So I actually feel motivated by my responsibility, to be honest, to the brand that I created, to the team that I hire and nurture and train myself, um, and also the responsible for my own personal well-being. So I can't be down for too long. I have to do something, be productive, do something, achieve something, live one day at a time, um, and remember that, yeah, I have responsibility to my company and my team. So that's how I feel motivated, and it keeps me going. Like imagine you have someone and someone's family depending on your payroll. How would that feel if this fell? That's how I feel motivated, actually.
Oh, okay.
Personally.
That was very succinct, but very, very motivational, actually. I think a lot of people would learn a lot from that. But I mean, you were telling us earlier about Shumo. How can people find out more about the story, find out your stores that are still open? Where can they go?
We update our website very often. If you need more information about our services, our prices, how to contact us, you can go to www.myshumo.com. All the information will be there, or you can follow us on Instagram, at myshumo.
Awesome.
All right, very cool. And I think Ginny's also going to give away a massive, like she's going to give away 10,000 ringgit as a special promotion to us, not to you guys. It's just mostly to us, but it's cool. I just want to share that with everyone. But on a more serious note though, the pandemic, while that slowed down, I think Shumo a little bit, still going strong. Like as you mentioned, 10 outlets, 4 markets. And what we're looking at here is probably the pandemic is going to stop at some point, right? We're hopeful. We're hopeful. I think Singapore's opening up more and more. The other markets that you're in, Indonesia, Brunei. Am I wrong about Brunei?
Yeah. We have
Brunei.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't actually. Indonesia and Malaysia might be a bit slow. Brunei, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't know. But we're definitely seeing things opening up eventually. So I think Shumo's just going to come back much stronger. But if you really do need your shoes cleaned, go to shumo.com. You're definitely going to find what you need there.
Is it myshumo.com?
myshumo.com.
Oh, God damn it. All right, we're going to put it in our show notes so that you'll get the right URL. And that's my fault. I apologize.
It's my SHOEMO.com.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well then, Ginny, we don't want to keep you any longer, but do you have any final words? Anything you want to tell us? You want to talk about David's weird face?
No, I guess that's it for me, I guess.
Thanks so much for your time, Janine. Really appreciate it. I think we learned a lot. I think our audience will learn a lot from this.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's listening, don't forget to follow us, like us, comments, give us some feedback, search us on all social media platforms, Business Over Drinks, or go to their website, businessoverdrinks.com. And don't forget Tung's offer for his company, Sync PR. If you'd like a PR audit, hit us up on businessoverdrinks.com and subscribe to our newsletter and let us know. Thanks, guys.